Welcome back to an episode. We are going to level up, not ourselves, no, this dude. And we're also giving him some nice items. And hopefully there's something in my inventory that I can give him that may be of some use. But he is at level 3 right now. And currently we are all at level 10. Or at least the ones on the main party are at level 10. Wait a minute, did I? Yeah. Pretty much everybody is at level 10. Poor Wyll. For some reason I did not quite choose this fellow as one of the companions. Anyway, it's same for Gale, by the way. I'm kinda housing. Yeah, I just take them into the team if necessary. Whatever. So, let's see. We're gonna level up this dude. But also, I have to look at his inventory. What's it doing? Light armor. Okay. And he's using a rapier. Now the big question is, what kind of playstyle do we want Wyll to have? In this case, it would be good for me to...
I'd love to, thanks.
The pride of the gate.
What's cooking?
The pride of the gate.
What a charmer.
Played at the ready.
Making me sweat.
Defender of the people.
Don't be shy.
Sharp as ever.
Huh. He's very calm and calculated. Interesting attitude. So, now, I am just going to get all 4 slots. What about the others? She only needs 3. Same.
A hero at heart.
Let's just make it like that. That should be okay. Speak with animals until long rest. Yeah, that's one of those special things. That's actually an interesting buff. Stuff like this could be best placed somewhere up here, or...
Can't give up now.
Yeah, I have that there as well. Okay. As well. So, I gave him some packed items because I kind of think that this playstyle might be somewhat funny. Anyway, I also gave him like the Eldritch Blast. What kind of thing is he, by the way? Very special Warlock. Fiend. You have pledged your soul to the Hells or Abyss in return for a deadly arsenal of fiendish arcana. Agonizing Blast, it is. When you cast Eldritch Blast at your charisma modifier, and his charisma modifier is all of this in the world, really. Unbelievable. So, packed blade. You can summon a packed weapon or bind the one you are wielding, making it magical. But the real question is, if we were to use per battle. Wow. Summon a weapon to your hand. It uses the wielder's spell casting ability modifier, and its damage is magical. You are proficient with the weapon. You can only have one at a time. The weapon disappears if you are more than 1.5 meters away from it for more than 10 turns. Okay, that's actually an interesting limit. So don't throw it too far. I don't think you even... I think you can't even throw that. Wait a minute. There's something special about this stuff. You cannot drop or... Yeah, you cannot drop or throw it. And you become proficient with it if you weren't already. This is the cool thing. You just take whatever weapon there is and you become instantly proficient with it. This is amazing. The weapon returns to its previous state if you are more than so many meters away from it for more than 10 turns. Don't know what previous state means in this regard. Does it mean pack bound in the inventory or whatever? Bind to your main hand. This damage becomes magical. Can you have 2 of those? Like a main and an offhand kind of weapon playstyle. That would be interesting. Anyway, the interesting bit about the Warlock levels is also, well, most of the players know this already, but wizards have like specific spell slots, and this one is always the maximum. So right now we have like 2 level 2 spell slots, and then it will be like a few level 3 spell slots, and so on and so forth, but it will always be the maximum, which is in a way easier to comprehend, right? Yeah, don't have to micromanage that much. So, and you're always kind of casting with a maximum slot anyway, because you're losing that one. Affect an additional target per level. What can we... Wow. Command. I never thought that the command spell actually has different flavors. We have command halt. Command a creature to halt, pretending it from moving or taking any type of action. This is a... Now I know. Okay. The interesting bit about this was that I haven't seen the command Grovel before. I always thought, yeah, command halt or like the general command thing. Actually, I thought this was more like a mind control kind of thing, but no. You use one action and then the enemy just does it. And then there's also the flee thing from you on their turn and do nothing else. One turn, one turn, one turn. Is there more than that? Command 2 creatures to drop their weapon on their turn and do nothing else. Wow. Wisdom save. Very specific one. And then there's also the move towards you on their turn and do nothing else. Why would you want that? Especially with melee characters. That's like ridiculous. I mean, okay, wait. You could prepare the ground, let the enemy come closer, and then throw some fiery stuff at them. That would be tricky. Or maybe just use water instead, and then they... and then it gets frozen, and then they drop down, and then they get pronified. Okay, take only half the damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing attacks. This is a cantrip. Cantrips I want to put on the left side, because they are constantly castable. Same for that one. Conjure 1 beam of crackling energy. That's how you count, sure. +3 force from agonizing blast. And the agonizing blast was one of those bonus features that we got, right? Yeah. Nice, nice, nice. +3. Add your charisma modifier to the damage it deals unless it is negative. Charisma modifier. Yeah, free from charisma because we have 70. Yeah, at 18 it would be +4. This dude would give me the best prices, really. Him instead of Astarion might actually be a good choice. Oh, by the way, what other skills does he have? What's he good at? No strength? Makes... Wait, what? Really, no strength. Mostly dexterity. But if you really think about it, he should be more of a caster. Yeah, more of a warlock caster, like a typical hero kind of thing. Almost like a bard. Persuasion, intimidation, and deception. But this is stuff that is useful for main characters. And not for side characters. Huh. Okay, so when it comes to skills, there's not that much use we can get out of this dude. No stealing, no nothing. Actually, I have the most dexterity right now, and I'm also a decent rogue, so I could do the whole lockpicking kind of thing. So, Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, this gift from your patron grants you 6 temporary hit points. Okay, now only have temporary hit points from one source. Passive feature. Human versatility, Pact the Blade. You can summon a packed weapon or bind. So, bind, pact. No, wait, we are just using the current one. Pact the Blade. Does this one change somewhat? No. Do they... Wait a minute, let's just save real quick. Do they differ in terms of damage? So if we were to use the Warhammer... We got the pack-bound thing, and we are dropping the rapier. Finesse weapon, but not light, so we can't use it as a secondary weapon. 413. And... bludgeoning. It doesn't tell you that it's magical. You have to kind of infer this from this packed weapon thingy. How would you figure out that it is magical? It should be bludgeoning in blue or something like that. Light blue. So, what was it? 413. So let's use the trident. Because trident is some kind of a spear weapon. It should give you more reach So, what's it good for? 411. Okay. So, different weapons have different maximum damage. And... wait a minute. This one doesn't have additional reach. Why? Okay. So, there's a glaive. There's a battle axe. Strange. Okay, let's go for battle axe then. 413, same thing. Huh. That. Wait a minute. You can like, this is not limited to anything, right? It's not like even a... yeah, it's a class action. It has nothing to do with the Warlock spells or whatnot. And your... I think this is a nice way to reset your abilities. Huh. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. I think the glaive could be one of those reach weapons, wasn't it? Yes, there you go. Okay. So this one not only gives you decent damage, like 4 to 13, similar to the Warhammer. Wait a minute. What about the Greatsword? That might be the highest. 515. Okay, when it comes to max damage, this is the best one. So why would you ever choose the Trident? What's so special about that one? It's versatile, sure, so the damage somewhat changes depending on what you have in your inventory. Disarming strike. It's like normal. Focus your attack on your foe. Yada yada. There's piercing strike and then there's rush. But I would say that disarming strike is not only found there. Oh, it is. Okay. So disarming strike is found on the Trident, at least. Interesting. Okay, anyway, wanted to level up for all it's worth. Gain an additional temporary hit points, still an additional 5 cold damage per level. To any creature that hits you, the melee attack. This is a... until long rest. Can only a temporary hit points from one source. Wait a minute. Gain 10 hit points and deal 10 levels to any hit point. With a melee attack. I have questions about this one. Because it says that it stays there until long rest. And you get 10 temporary hit points. But what happens if we don't have those hit points anymore? Do we lose the bonus damage or not? If hit with the melee attack, the attacker takes 10 cold damage. It's actually kind of interesting. Even if the attacker just does like 1 damage, they take 10. It's an interesting retaliation. It's actually it's actually really good. Nice. Nice. Okay, so let's keep those things in here. Save real quick. Yeah, we have to do the level up now. Oh, that will be complicated. So we can replace spells, new feats available, sure. Oh, feats, Jesus. Okay, let's see. I hopefully have some kind of overview what abilities I want, so that should be okay. Friends. I don't know if there's like multiple abilities that this one will trigger, but could be. Minor illusion? No. Cantrip. Minor illusion is something that I want to use, not him. True strike. Cool idea, but you need multiple actions in order to make this work. Spare poison. When would you... The thing is, Mage Hand usually is... There's a long rest limit to this thing. Isn't it? That's not. That's weird. Okay, Boncho prevent a creature from healing until the next turn. That's like 1 turn. Nah. Get advantage on charisma checks against a non-hostile creature. The spell can be cast while you are silenced, which is actually very nice. But it's also concentration related, so slightly iffy. poison is poison damage, but most enemies are always resistant to it. Doesn't explain what poison does, and if we can even like, I mean, we can do damage with it, yes, but I don't know if that it triggers a poisoned effect. Poisoned effects usually decrease or like give you disadvantage on hits, or they reduce the attack roll or whatever. One of the two. Anyway, we're gonna get the Mage Hand because this is one of those tricky kind of spells. Really like that, and he should kind of keep that one. Yeah, seems like a fitting spell. The other way would be to make him into a like people controlling character, like a charm offensive dude kind of thing. That would make sense. Don't really want to give him any fiery things, even if it is somewhat hell related. Want to give him something like, oh, that's interesting. Like your attacks deal an additional necrotic damage to the target and give it disadvantage on ability. On an ability of your choosing. Okay, if the target dies before the spell ends, you can hex a new creature without expending a spell slot. Expeditious Retreat, this is cool. You dash immediately and as a bonus action on each of your turns until the spell ends. And it never ends until long rest. Or, well, okay, this is concentration, meaning that it will end at one point. Mirror Image, oh, come on. All of those spells are cool. It kind of feels as if the Warlock kind of combines all of the cool spells that I try to use myself. Or wanted to. So Hold Person is really cool because of the critical thing. But he is not... Okay, he has like 14 constitution, but I don't want to give him too many concentration effects here. I want to reduce a creature's peripheral vision and make it look at you. How would you want to do that? What's so special about that? We'll keep looking at you, spell card. Okay, this uses a spell slot. It makes sense if like another character tries to get around them or whatnot, but this is more like a combat spell anyway. We'll probably not like that. Create darkness and blinds. I mean, I do have the Foglight spell for this. Darkness is not necessary. And it's concentration. Crown of Madness, same thing. Enemy making them attack the creature closest to them. It's a humanoid. I don't know what those metal thingies are, and I definitely need something that goes against these creatures. Damages all nearby creatures and objects. Creatures made of inorganic materials such as stone have disadvantage on their saving throw. Okay, Shatter is a very good idea. This is specific against the Steel Watchers. Ray of Enfeeblement. Weaken a foe. They deal half damage with a weapon attacks using strength. Deal only half damage with a weapon. Do we have anything else? He's not going to use the Witch Bolt or anything. Nothing concentration related, as I said. Surrounded by silver mist, you teleport to an unoccupied space you can see. The problem with this is that it uses... Actually, no, everything uses an action. Blind the creature. Attack rolls against it have advantage and foe attacks with disadvantage. Can you even... I think you can't even blind those Steel Watchers because they don't have eyes to blind. Counter close of spinning daggers that attack anyone inside. Again, concentration related, but it is a cool thing. But maybe I should just go for Shatter and use it for very specific kind of targets. And not... Yeah, it's another concentration. Okay, what about Arms of Hadar? Prevent targets from using reactions. Okay. Attacks of opportunities and so on and so forth. But only for one turn. Definitely not cool. Okay, there are cool spells in here. I'm gonna go for Shatter though. I want to turn him into someone that attacks inorganic stuff. Yeah. That would kind of make sense. I don't want to turn him into some Mind Flayer thingy. Actually, the idea of a Mind Flayer build would just focus on enchantment spells. Okay, could I turn him into an evoker? Actually, wait a minute. We got illusion magic. He's not an illusionist. No. Evocation, conjuration. No. Conjuration is... I use the druid for this kind of ideas. Misty Step, same thing. Abjuration is like healing. Or like shielding yourself against evil and whatnot. Conjuration again. Necromancy. Is he using that? Necromancy is like healing in reverse. But actually healing in reverse has nothing to do with this. Huh. Strange. Whatever, we're gonna go for Shatter. Do we want to replace any spells? So what goes out, what goes in? I mean, yeah, evocation, whatever, command. The command skills have a nice variety. Yeah. If I can make multiple enemies drop their weapon, that would be quite nice. Okay, what about the feat though? And ability improvements. You increase an ability by 2 or 2 abilities by 1 to a maximum of 20. What ability could that be? I don't need to give him constitution higher than whatever he has right now. And it says up to a maximum of 20. I could give him a very large amount of charisma. Okay, what else we got? Your charisma increases by 1 to a maximum of 20. Your proficiency bonus is also doubled for deception and performance checks. Oh, performance, nice. So it's like a bard, yeah, actor, bard. Surprised, nope. Charger, nope. Crossbow expert, no. Defensive duelist, I mean, this would kind of make sense for him when attacked while wielding a finesse weapon you're proficient with. You can use a reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class, possibly causing the attack to miss. Possibly. Dual wielder? No. You can use 2 weapon fighting even if your weapons aren't light, and you gain a +1 bonus to armor class while wielding a melee weapon in each hand. You can dual wield heavy weapons. Wasn't there a something that gives you better stats if you have nothing in your offhand or something? I think there was, and I kind of want to give him exactly that treatment. You gain advantage on perception. Yeah, he kind of would work like the Witcher, like one hand for casting and the other one for the sword. You gain advantage on perception checks made to detect hidden objects and saving throws made to avoid or resist traps. You gain resistance to the damage dealt by traps. Durable now. Constitution increases by 1. You'll regain full hit points each time you take a short rest. And he also gets like full spells every short rest, so this would actually give him a decent amount of survivability. The spells and attacks ignore resistance to a damage type of your choice. When you cast spells of that type, you cannot roll a 1. Oh, that is good. Do I want to give him a special element to cast? I mean, thunder damage would be kind of funny. But I don't know how many other spells there are, so it would be nice to just keep the feat as a separate kind of thing and just level them up with all of the spells and whatnot, and then just choose the feats after. Okay, anyway, great weapon fighting is something that he doesn't need. Lightly armored. You gain armor proficiency with light armor and your strength dexterity increases by 1. He's already proficient with light armor. That's like part of his human-ish thing. You have upper proficiency with spears, pikes, halberds, and glaives, and armor proficiency with light armor and shields. So lucky you gain hit points. Nope. Oh, Mage Slayer, also a good idea, but when a creature casts a spell within melee range of you, you have advantage on any saving throw against it, and you can use a reaction to immediately make an attack against the caster. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. If you have Mage Slayer, what you have to do is get into melee range in order for this to trigger constantly. I have disadvantage on concentration saving throws if I hit them, which means I can constantly stop them from casting spells. The problematic thing is that you cannot use Mage Slayer if you are yourself affected by magic. Definitely not good. You learn 2 cantrips and a level 1 spell from the Bard spell list. You can cast level 1 spell list. Warlock, Wizard. You have 2 cantrips and a level 1 spell from the Wizard spell list. You can cast the level 1 spell once per long rest, and your spellcasting ability for all 3 spells is Intelligence. Wait, no, wait, this is Wizard Warlock. There you go. Nah, we don't need more. The thing is, you need a strong thing that you can cast constantly, and not multiple smaller ones, which don't really matter that much. I mean, versatility is cool and all. I really like versatility. The problem is just that the enemy has so much health that it would be better to focus down, to focus them down with a lot of damage consistently, and not a little bit of stuff. Okay, so martial adapt. You learn 2 maneuvers from your nope. Your movement speed increases and difficult terrain doesn't slow you down when you dash. If you move after making a melee attack, you don't provoke opportunity attacks from your target. Nah, it's not gonna do that. You gain armor proficiency with medium and shields, and your strength increase now. Musical instrument not required, but charisma increases by 1 is actually a cool thing. Like this, proficiency with an instrument, and the other one getting proficiency on performance is a cool thing for a wannabe bard, let's say. Anyway, when attacking with a glaive, halberds, quarterstaff or spear, you can use a bonus action to attack with the butt of your weapon. Why would we want to do that? When attacking with a glaive, okay, so you use like your main action plus a bonus action in order to up the damage just a teensy weeny bit. You can make an opportunity attack when a target comes within range. That's actually kind of neat. So, and if I constantly use like pole arm mastery, like on glaives, the one that I summoned up, that's actually kind of neat. The trident isn't listed on this thing. The trident should actually be part of this, right? Huh. Why are tridents special weapons? You increase an ability by 1 to a maximum of 20 and gain proficiency in that ability saving throws. Proficiency. So he has like wisdom proficiency for some reason. Why? Why does he have wisdom proficiency? Somewhere he got wisdom proficiency from it. I don't know why. Select an additional skill to be proficient in. Your carrying capacity is increased by a quarter. I think I gave him wisdom, didn't I? I think this is it. Yeah. Well, at least he can carry a little bit. Good. So wisdom and proficiency. It's good for saving throws, but what else could it be good for though? Question. Resilient. We got that much. Ritual caster. You learn to ritual. No, he doesn't need that. When making melee weapon attacks, you roll your damage dice twice. Use the highest result. He's not using melee. He's using casting abilities from afar. When an enemy within melee range attacks an ally, you can use a reaction. Sentinel is not necessary. You gain advantage on opportunity attacks. When you hit a creature with an opportunity attack, it can no longer move for the rest of its turn. That's cool. So Sentinel together with Polearm Master, it's actually a really cool thing. This one forces opportunity attacks when the enemy gets in range, and the other one makes them stop moving immediately. It's pretty cool. Pretty nice idea. So, your ranged weapon attacks do not receive penalties from high ground rules. Sharpshooter. But he's not using ranged weapons like this. You gain +2 bonus dexterity saving throws while wielding a shield. He's not using shields, as I said. He's gonna get a special treatment. If a spell forces you to make a dexterity saving throw, you can use a reaction. Skilled, maybe? You gain proficiency in 3 skills of your choice. Oh no, wait a minute. These are the skills. What is this one then? Abilities. I constantly mix up the wording on those. So, what kind of skills would he be good for? This is out of combat related, except for athletics and acrobatics. Yeah, stealth could also be somewhat combat related. Persuasion is main character stat. Oh wait, this is good when it comes to for better pricing and whatnot. But do we already have that one? No. He doesn't need sleight of hand as well, so skilled is out of question. Spell sniper, you learn a cantrip, and the number you need to roll a critical hit with spells is reduced by 1. This effect can stack. So, he can get spell sniper, that's actually a really cool thing. What else? Your hit point maximum increased by 2 for each level, that's cool. You can advantage on saving throws to maintain concentration on a spell. I didn't want to give him concentration stats because reasons. You can also use reaction to cast Chopping Grasp with the target moving out of melee range. You have proficiency with 4 weapons of your choice, and your strength and dexterity increases by 1 to a maximum of... Okay, so Spell Sniper makes some sense for the playstyle that I want to give him, like caster mostly. And damaging caster, not just utility kind of caster, but actually someone who throws things at the enemy. But now the question is, did I miss the feat that makes him more proficient if he only has like a one weapon and then an offhand 3 or something? Or maybe this is a completely different class. I thought it was this one. An attack while wielding a finesse weapon, you can use a reaction to add your proficiency bonus to armor class, possibly causing the next attack to miss. You can use your reaction to add your proficiency bonus to your armor class, possibly causing the attack to miss. The thing is, it's a reaction, so that means it can only happen once. I could also just increase the ability by 2, make the charisma like extremely high, so no matter what, it will always hit. But wait a minute. Spellcasting for bards, paladins, What about the spells themselves? What is this? What do you have to roll in order for this to work? Wisdom save. The thing is, the enemy has to roll the wisdom save, right? The target rolls against the attacker's difficulty class. If the roll is equal to or higher than the difficulty class, the target resists the effect of the target. What's difficulty class? A number that must be matched or exceeded to succeed. Rolling a 1 always fails, rolling 20 always succeeds. Now the real question is difficulty class on saving throws. When it has a... This one says difficulty class Wyll. Wisdom related. What kind of attribute is necessary for this? Because these are Warlock spells and Warlock casts with charisma. Does it mean that they have to roll higher than some charisma stat, whatnot? That would make some kind of sense. Tests whether an action is successful based on the dice roll. Your ability modifier, any bonuses, and the check's difficulty class. Difficulty class. But how is the difficulty class of, let's say, hold person determined? That is a good question. I want to answer that. Oh boy. Long level up and we didn't even finish the first one. Or like third one. BG3, DC, calc. Let's hope this works. Difficulty class calculation, yeah. Cast. Or spell. As a spellcaster, your spell save DC equals 8 plus your proficiency bonus. Plus your ability modifier. In this case, at level 3, your proficiency bonus is plus 2, and your ability modifier is, let's say, wisdom. Your DC is difficulty class of your spells that you cast. What is this proficiency bonus for proficiency? Proficiency is like... So multiple bonuses depending on your level. So for convenience of a single class characters you can use. It's basically just a stat that says, hey, you're good at this. Sure. But one thing that I like like we are casting with our spell casting modifier, right? Meaning it's charisma. It takes the number from charisma, and the enemy is using their wisdom to fight against that. They are not using their own charisma, which is... So it's not charisma against charisma, it's like charisma against wisdom. In this case, if you want to be really strategic about that, you would need multiple different spells where you can choose the stat that is the lowest on the enemy. So that their chance of getting that roll correct is very low. So, burning hands. The real question is, how do these evocation things actually roll for success? This one doesn't seem to have a save. Maybe this one is just armor class related. This is a condition, and conditions work differently. That's very interesting. Reduce a creature's peripheral vision. We'll keep looking at this book. This one doesn't seem to have any ways of getting out of this. This one has a wisdom save. This condition can be saved by wisdom. This condition here cannot. What about this one? Has advantage on charisma checks directed at the target's creature. Do we have anything else here? Charm humanoid to prevent it from attacking you. You can advantage on charisma checks. What about that one? Constitution save, yeah. So what you want is a variety of similar-ish kind of spells that you can use against different creatures. What about that one? It's concentration, yes. That one works differently. Witch bolt is also damage. So it could just be armor class. I think it's just armor class. Whatever. We're still gonna keep shadow though. We're not gonna replace any spells. Now the big question is, which of those other ones do I want to get? I mean, I do want to give him... Like, this is not necessary. Lightly armored, like, we already are proficient with this stuff. No reason for it. And I'm gonna keep him lightly armored. No reason to overdo this. Now the real question is, do I want to increase his constitution? Actually, why not? The thing is, we can only get it to like 20. But 20 should be pretty decent. So we want this. Okay. I think that's pretty decent. Then I'm just gonna choose another one that increases stats and he ends up with like 20 charisma. And he can deal tons of damage afterwards. Okay, let's do this. So we got another spell. Right, this one is +6 from Wyll. Bonus to melee and ranged spell attacks. Proves your chance to hit certain spells. Right, spell save DC. Certain spells require enemies to make a saving throw. The higher your spell difficulty class, the harder it is to resist your spells. Interestingly, our difficulty class is now 14. So this is what the enemy is rolling against. I think. So our difficulty class seems to be always the same. It's not that we roll with charisma as well. It's just our charisma increases a certain stat, I think. Okay, questions upon questions. Okay, we are going to learn a level 3 thing. This is a cool one. The Stinky Cloud. Preventing enemies from taking any actions. Caught in a cloud might be prevented from taking actions due to its foul smell, but it just works. It doesn't have any savings, just poisoned, and just does it. Pretty cool. Gaseous form. It's kind of like a vampire ability. Do I want to keep it? No. What else? Hunger of another Hadar thing. Tentacle stuff, right. Creatures within this black sphere are blinded. Another one. And take damage at the end of their turn and at the start of their turn. Wow, it's a lot of damage. Creatures starting their turn in the area take 2 cold damage. Creatures ending their turn in the area possibly take 2 acid damage. And acid has the tendency of reducing armor, I hope. The area is difficult terrain. Nice. Making it more difficult to move. A sphere of cold. Okay, sphere. It doesn't tell you how far that sphere goes. And I also don't know if your own characters are getting affected by this. But at least it makes it more probable to shut the dam. The thing is you can't move the thing, but it stays there. Concentration stuff related. Good. No fog cloud, no nothing. Counterspell. Try to stop a spell being cast. Now this is cheap. I love that. Okay. This is a cool thing. If it is higher level than the spell slot you use to counterspell, you must make a... Wait a minute. Again. Try to stop a spell being cast. If it is higher level than the spell slot you use to counterspell, you must make a check. Using your spellcasting ability to prevent it. The check's difficulty is equal to 10 plus the level of the spell you are trying to counter. Okay, so let's say the enemy level is 3, then it's 10 plus 3, 13. The check's difficulty is equal to 10 plus da 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 da. And we have to roll against that. And we roll with what exactly? You must make a check using your spellcasting ability. Spellcasting ability means we get bonuses from charisma, making it easier to work, right? I think so. It's interesting that we use the spell level as an indicator of the difficulty and not the spell casting ability of the enemy, right? Or anything else. It's a very interesting thing. So if here targets drop everything and become fearful, it's like the command thing, just weirder. The command thing would be better. Target could be multiples. If the target ends their turn where they can't see you, they can make another saving throw to shake off their fear. Shake it off. Yeah, shake it off. Fireball. Yeah. Really good idea. But wasn't it a different kind of damage tab that I wanted? Anyway, remove curse is a cool idea. Touch a creature or object to remove all curses and hexes affecting it. Touching. Melee. We have to get close. Ooh, that's tricky. Vampiric touch. Again, another touch thing. Touch an enemy to siphon their life force and regain half as many hit points. For 10 turns, you can use Vampiric Touch again without expending an additional spell slot. The interesting thing is that you can use this constantly. I don't know how they are going to counter this effect, because there doesn't seem to be a roll against it. Very interesting. Okay, I do want to get a level 3 thing though. Gaseous... What's this one? Hypnotic pattern. Creatures that can see the pattern cannot attack you. They cannot move or act. hypnotized creatures can move or take actions, bonus action reactions, removed by taking damage or when helped. By taking damage. Oh, this is iffy. So you have to use this constantly, but the spell can be cast also via silence. This is cool. Can't speak or cast spells with a verbal component and is immune to thunder damage. Okay, so remove curse is a cool thing, but Gale has that ability. Should I keep that? I don't know. The idea of fear is also a cool one, but the thing is, if we have multiple control-related abilities, then it doesn't really matter which one we are going to choose. So, like this enchantment just works, cannot move or take action, bonus action, da 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 da. Like, this one is already pretty decent. That's the problem about it. Okay, so which one are we going to use then? We don't need to dash. Granting flight might be a good one. Yourself and I could buff someone else. Make them get closer and not step on the ground. Shoot a bright flame from your fingers that explodes upon contact, torching everything in the vicinity. I mean, why not? We don't have Witch Bolt, and this is not a concentration ability, so we should take this one. Yeah. Try to stop a spell being cast. You know what? I'm gonna use the anti-spell casting thing. This is such a funny thing. Okay, let's keep that one. Eldritch Invocations. Now, what do we got? When you cast Eldritch Blast at yeah, you can do this all the time. Add your Charisma modifier, which is already really high, to the damage it deals, unless it is negative. Oh, that's actually a safety feature, so you don't reduce your damage. You can cast Bestow Curse with a Warlock spell slot. What's this one? Curse a creature with your touch. Melee again. Very difficult. The curse either bestows disadvantage on checks and saving throws or attacks, lets you deal additional damage to the target, or robs it of its actions. The additional damage component's actually kind of neat. It's probably something resistance related, maybe. Like getting the enemy vulnerable to something. Cursed strength. One of the conditions, possibly. Okay. So, Maya of the Mind. You can cast Slow with a Warlock spell slot. And Slow was kind of interesting because it gave you something special, wasn't it? Target up to 6 creatures, which is a lot, and slow them. Movement and actions are affected, and their AC and dexterity saves are reduced by 2. Which makes it easier to hit them. Sadly, it's a wisdom save. Affected entity's movement speed is halved, and its armor class and dexterity is also reduced. The entity can't take reactions or make more than 1 attack per turn. Very good against fighters. Then 1 attack per turn. But it may be able to use and can only take either an action or a bonus action. Oh, this is a nice limit. This is really good. Almost like Hold Person, except for the fact that you can slow down like a whole whole squad of enemies, like really neat. Armor of the Shadows. You can cast Mage Armor on yourself at will. As will, almost. Without expending a spell slot. Ooh. Sounds like fun. Not only does he not get a spell, he has Warlock spell slots, so increase its armor class to 13, but he has a slightly higher armor class already, I think 15 or something like that. Plus its dexterity modifier. Until long rest, pretty neat. Mage armor increases your armor class when you aren't wearing armor. The higher your armor class, the harder you are to hit. Yeah, when you are not wearing armor, but we are wearing armor. We are wearing like light armor, so no. You invoke your patron's bewitching charm. You get proficiency in deception and persuasion again. This is actually an interesting passive, almost like one of those feats. Proficiency in deception and persuasion, which means we are gonna be able to get really good prices when it comes to trading. Beguiling influence. You invoke your patron's... No, we got this one. Devil's Sight. You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, to a distance of 20 feet. This is amazing. This might be somewhat useful and very powerful when it comes to targeting enemies far away and in fog clouds and whatnot. 24 meters. Every time I had to move a little bit closer or whatever, reposition myself so that I can actually see the enemies properly. Devil's Sight might be very useful. Now, you can cast False Life on yourself at will. It's a level 1 spell without expanding your spell slot. And False Life does what? Oh, as a level 1 spell slot. Wait, as a level 1 spell there, without expanding a spell slot. Gain temporary hit points, again. And can only have temporary hit points from one source. This restriction is somewhat annoying, because there are different ways of getting temporary hit points. And would actually like to see these things stack. That would be nice. Oh, they also don't remove down, so it's not really helping. It's more like a shield, if you think about it. Fiendish Vigor, no, this is it. Mask of Many Faces. You can cast Disguise Self at will without expanding a spell slot. Disguise Self is actually a ritual spell most of the time. And it doesn't matter if it uses a spell slot or not. The only time where it would matter is in combat with the spell slots, but you don't use Disguise Self in combat because it just wastes an action. One with Shadows. To learn how to cast this spell. Vanish into the darkness and become invisible as long as you stand still. Right. The thing is that this is cool. Visibility ends early if you move, attack, cast another spell, take an action, or take damage. Right, taking damage is the problem here. Affected entity is invisible. It has advantage on attack rolls. So, what you can try to do is get invisible, wait a turn, attack the enemy. Become invisible, wait a turn, attack the enemy. Whatever. Problem is it uses actions. So how do you attack? What you have to do is make... Yeah, you need to attack with the bonus action, and then you use your action in order to become invisible again. It's like the reverse rogue, if you think about it. Like rogues become invisible by using bonus actions, whereas this one works in a slightly different way. Whatever. Repelling Blast. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, which I'm... Yeah, this is just a bonus feature. You can push the creature up to 4.5 meters away from you. That's just one T. Like, it's cool. Makes it so that I can push them somewhere where they might be better off, or worse off in this case. But I don't want to throw enemies down chasms, because I want their loot. So we are not gonna play by these kind of rules, sadly. Once per long rest you can cast Bane using a Warlock spell slot. Like, if I can cast it only once per long rest, then using a Warlock spell slot is kind of stupid. Just let me cast Bane and everything would be fine. The thing is, I don't even know what Bane does. There's no explanation here. Bane there it is. Bane targets up to 3 creatures. They receive 1d4 penalty to attack rolls and saving throws. Okay, 3 creatures that get a reduction in attack rolls is kind of cool. The thing is, it uses a Warlock spell slot. Wouldn't it be better to use Mire the Mind with a slow? Actions are affected. AC gets reduced, so anyone else also gets better at it. Movement speed is halved. Armor is reduced. Saving throws are lower. The only thing that does not get reduced is the the attack rolls themselves, so the chance for them to hit. Okay. Good, so which of those are kind of... like, the interaction with Eldritch Blast might be a cool thing. One with the shadows... I don't know. It's an interesting playstyle, definitely, but... don't really know why. I mean, I could use Maya the Mines. And casting slow with a... okay, it's level 3 transmutation thingy. But why is it so why can't I use slow in here? Why do I have to get the Eldritch invocations with slow from somewhere else? Okay, let's just use this one though. Level 3, very powerful. Anyway, I don't need to worry about that. All of my Warlock spells are level 3. But do we have anything else? You invoke your patron's bewitching charm. You gain proficiency in deception and persuasion. This is out of combat related. This would be good if I want to sell items and stuff, but I usually use Astarion for this. But now Astarion is not on my team anymore, so I should use Wyll. Complications upon complications. What is the other thing that I wanted? Devil's Sight. Yeah, this is the thing that interacts the best with all my other playstyles. So let's just choose synergy above all else first. So Devil's Sight. Okay, took a little while. Oh, we're already at level 6. Nice. Okay, well, already. What's this one? Call on your patron to change your fate and add a 1d10 to an ability check. Dark one's own luck. How often can you use this? Call on your patron. Ability check. Can you use this? I mean, that's an interesting ability. But I don't know how often you can use that though. So we're not gonna replace any spells. Do we got any good stuff though? I mean, we already got fire. 636. We got fire, we got thunder. Fire, thunder, and we got Hellish Rebuke. Reacts to your next attacker with flames that deal fire damage. Okay, wait. This is the reaction. It's actually kind of cool. The temporary hit thing is something that is even nicer, huh? Command's cool, that's cool. Okay, so what kind of spell is it that I would like to get from here? Hunger of Hadar just does additional damage, yes. Creatures within are blinded, and blind has bonuses. Has disadvantage on attack rolls. Range of attacks and spells reduced to so and so much. Attack rolls against blinded creatures have advantage. So it kind of works like Fog Cloud, except that this one here deals damage on top of that. And we can even look into the Hadar cloud thingy, so maybe I should get that one. The rest might not be that interesting. Like this one does damage, sure, but this is just kind of funny. Let's just hope this works. Let's just hope this works. Okay, let's accept this one. We are almost at the max level. Oh boy. Banishment. Temporarily banish your target to another plane of existence. Banish from this plane of existence, can't be targeted, can't move or take action, bonus actions or reactions for 2 turns. Very nice. Doesn't seem to have any save against it, except that it is a concentration thing. Blight. Plants take maximum damage from this spell and have disadvantage. When am I ever gonna use to fight plants? I mean, there's one time I'm gonna fight plants and it's in the shadow area or against dryads or whatever, but not in here. Fire Shield is a cool ability. And Wall of Fire. Okay, some of those number 4 thingies. Create a blazing wall of fire, burning anyone who dares to stand too close. Another concentration thing. I don't want to focus on concentration. Like, concentration is for other characters. I wanted to use for other characters, but... So, plants take maximum damage from the spell. Plants. Is there a way for enemies to turn into plants? So that I turn them into plants and then I use Blight against them and deal maximum damage. That would be kind of cool. Maybe even critting. Anyway, Fire Shield. With your body in flames that shed light in a 3 meter radius. Provide resistance to fire or cold damage. And retaliate against melee attackers, which is kinda nice. So we are warm and chilly. Affected entity sheds light and has resistance to fire damage. Deals cold damage to anyone who hits it with a melee attack. Affected entity sheds light, has resistance to cold. Yeah, fire or cold, depending on what you want. And deals fire damage to anyone who hits it with a melee attack. Good. So, depending on the enemy, I'm going to choose the element that works better. But the thing is, it's a retaliation ability. Meaning that I need to get attacked. Not only by some attacks, but I need to get attacked. You gotta be kidding me. Looks like I'm gonna use Fireball for that instead. Create a blazing wall of fire, burning anyone who dares to stand too close. It's a concentration thing. But if it's a concentration thing, then how much damage does it actually do? Can we see this somewhere? It doesn't tell you that. The thing is, I want to get a level 4 spell, but I don't see a good level 4 spell in here. One that I would resonate with, let's say. The only other thing would be Fireball. Fireball is instant. You deal damage even if you mess up. So wait a minute. How does Wall of Fire actually work in this game? What's the damage? Does it deal the max damage constantly? Fire... That's complicated right now. Very complicated. So, casting the spell at a higher level deals extra damage. Okay. So, Blazing Ball of Fire that deals 5d6 fire to anyone within. Good. But what about the damage? This spell creates a wall from the first targeted point to the second targeted point. A distance up to so and so many meters away. The wall is so and so many meters wide. Does not break stealth. Does not break stealth. Yeah, look at that. The incantation of Wall of Fire is this. Good. But I do want to, like... If it's a concentration thingy, then it does deal damage. But I want to know how much damage it does per turn. Not for each spell slot, but... Let's say you stand in the fire. Do you... How much damage do you take? Okay, deals fire to anything that moves into or starts its turn in the area. Ooh, okay, that's also a safety thing that you have to keep in mind. You can defeat your... you can take down your own party members. Very iffy. Okay. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The only spell that works against you, ish. Okay. How much damage does it actually do? That's the question. How much damage? How much damage? So, when the enemies inside start their turn, while still on top of it. If they start their turn outside of it, yeah, I know that. But I want to know about the consistent thing. So, enemies take damage from the wall and take burn damage from the surface. Still doesn't explain anything. It says 5d8. Is this an instant damage thing? How does it work? The reason why I'm asking this is because, as I see it, it would deal maximum damage, like the 5d8. It would deal this damage every time someone within their turn interacts with that wall. Either gets out of it or steps onto it, right? And the next turn, again, 5d8. But it could just be wrong, and it's just the first interaction with the wall that does it. How does it work? Strict raw can be read. Raw damage, no damage, raw damage, raw damage. Whoa. I just want to know the numbers. Jesus. Okay, this is actually... It's a simple question, but no one seems to actually... Maybe it's just a very simple answer to that too. How much damage does Wall of Fire? Exactly. Creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall or exits the wall. It still doesn't explain anything. So... No. There's a wall. A creature takes the same damage when it enters the wall. Okay. Okay, so let's just think about this as max damage. We're gonna keep the Wall of Fire. And Eldritch stuff. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there's more. Look at that. We got 3 new things. Okay, let's just check the other ones real quick and see if there's something new. No. The good stuff is always slotted at the beginning. Oh, Beast Speech. Nice. Bestow Curse? No. There you go. You can cast Polymorph with a Warlock. Now, what does Polymorph do? Transform a creature into a harmless sheep. And it's always a sheep. It can't be a plant, right? Would be nice if they turn into a plant instead. Sculpt flesh. No. You can... By the way, does it... It has a safety... Doesn't seem to have the safety throw, so what does it roll against? Weird. Dreadful word. You can cast Confusion with a Warlock spell slot. Confuse a group of creatures, causing them to attack at random. Wander around aimlessly and occasionally skip turns in the stupor. Yep, I really hated that spell on Carla. Like, she got affected by this, and I was so annoyed. Affected entity is hostile to everyone. Wanders around aimlessly and occasionally skips turns in stupor. Sounds like fun, but it is a concentration ability. Again, Book of Ancient Secrets. You can inscribe magical rituals in your Book of Shadows. Gain the Ray of Sickness, Chromatic Orb, and Silent spells. You can cast these spells once per long rest, and they don't expand any spell slots when cast. It's a nice way of telling you they get special spell slots, but again, What's so special about the Ray of Sickness? Doesn't even deal that much damage. It poisons the enemy, therefore reducing their attack rolls a little bit, but... Chromatic Orb... I already have something similar like this. Silent Spell is pretty cool. But they get to become immune to thunder damage, but I like to use thunder damage, so meh. And cast these spells. Those free spells once belong. No. Like Book of Ancient Secrets, cool idea. Chromatic Orb, also very powerful spell. Really like that one. But actually, what I should have just maybe even stayed a wizard and used the Chromatic Orb all the time. That's such a nice all-rounded spell. It's just great. Anyhow, maybe I should just use slow and make the enemies be like molasses and make anyone else have it. Yeah, and everyone else just has it much easier fighting the enemy then. Only problem is, what kind of save is wisdom? Always wisdom. Anything in here though? The curse either bestows disadvantage on checks and saving throws or attacks. Let's deal additional damage to the target or robs it of its action. Additional damage. Okay, so either we are going for a mass clear with a slow, or we are going for more damage against a single target. Now the real question is, what do we do? It's usually always better to not spread out your power, but in this case we're gonna get the slow thing, just because I kind of like the idea of using this. And accept. Okay, time to get another feat, which I actually know what kind of feat I'm gonna take. Do I? Oh boy. Good. Hold. If I'm gonna use so much concentration, constitution, and yeah, advantage on saving throws would be kind of useful, wouldn't it? Pooh. That's actually a nice shield. Maybe I should keep this one. No, wait a minute. If I have the Wall of Fire, this is a concentration spell. There aren't any other concentration spells, so I want to keep the concentration up on that spell. That means I am going to throw another spell at them. Like this one. Just to deal more damage. Yep. Okay. We're just gonna burn them, die. Nice. Okay. That should work. Very simple selection. The spells and attacks with no resistance to a damage type of your choice. When you cast spells of that type, you cannot follow one. Yeah. Question. We have selected an awful lot of fire spells. I mean, I could get the elemental adept at the end in order to ignore that resistance. But I don't know what other spell stuff we're gonna get. Like, this is so annoying. I want to keep the feet open. I want to level up other stuff right now on the side. Okay, what do we got? Strength, no, Warcaster, there we go. Concentration, that's good. Advantage on saving throws, making it much easier. But the thing is, if you have an advantage on saving throws, but concentration always rolls on Constitution. So, when the cast once at a time, their concentration might be broken when they take damage. So, Constitution, ability, check. But yeah, it's always Constitution that you have to roll. So what I have to do is get higher Constitution rates. The thing is, it doesn't matter if I increase it by 1 because I end up with 15. I need 2 points in Constitution for this to work. But I don't want to turn him into a Constitution dude. The idea of concentration is just a nice bonus, but it's not a focus. So, when you make an unarmed attack, use improvised weapons or throw something, your strength modifiers added twice to the damage and attack rolls. Now, spell sniper, learn a cantrip, and the number you need to roll a critical save with spells is reduced by 1. Okay, spell sniper is actually a good idea. What was the other one? Elemental adept. With a tab, you cannot roll a 1. You cannot roll a 1. You deal damage constantly. You ignore resistance. And this one makes it more likely for you to actually dish out damage. That is a very, 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 very cool idea. Yeah. I wanted to increase his ability a little bit. Gain proficiency in that ability saving throws. This one is already proficient, so that is definitely not going to work. Do we have anything? Gain musical instrument proficiency and your charisma increased by 1 time. So this is a cool idea. What about the actor? What was that one again? Your proficiency bonus is also doubled for deception. Yeah. We are already proficient in charisma. And getting another point in charisma would increase our bonus a lot. The proficiency bonus gets added onto it. Oh, that would be amazing. Okay, so either we are going to deal easier crits, or I'm going to turn him into an actor and make him sell tons of golds. Stupid. Okay, so what kind of cantrips are we going to go for? Firebolt, obviously. But wait a minute. Yeah, this is the crit stuff. The thing is, if I... He has Eldritch Blast as a cantrip, doesn't he? Yeah, it's a cantrip, so he can use this force stuff all the time. Wait a minute. Was it this one? Yeah, Acid, Cold, Fire, Lightning, Thunder. There's no force in here. And enemies rarely are force resistant, so Eldritch stuff is like a cheat code. So you don't have to use this ignoring resistance thing if you just go for force damage on the Warlock. Interesting. So the better thing for me to do would be to become a spell sniper. And pulls a creature. No, we don't want to pull creatures here. The target cannot use reactions. Oh, the spell has advantage on creatures with metal armor. Good, but melee. Very not so good. Movement speed reduction. Hurl a mode fire. Okay, this is the thing that deals the most damage. Okay, so 18, 18, 18, melee. And this one gets them closer, so why would you want to do that? And the target can't be pulled if it's huge in size, so why, again, do you want to do this? The only reason would be to use fire in here. I mean, a little bit of variety in terms of damage would also be nice, but yeah, we have 2 different types of spells. Oh, look at this. Spell save DC is 15 right now. Why? It's a cantrip. This one says +7 and 15. Where is the +7 coming from? It could be charisma plus proficiency. If you add both of those together, they also result in 7. Maybe this is it. Whatever. Let's just use the fire thingy and let him burn the enemy to a crisp. So... second to last level up. Okay, we're getting there, slowly but surely. Even more spells, oh Jesus. And more Eldritch Invocation. Do we get... Yo, we got new stuff. Perfect. Okay, what do we got? Level 5. No. Fire. Flame Strike. Nice. Make a pillar of divine fire roll down from the heavens like the wrath of affronted angels. Fire and radiant damage. Sounds like fun. We're gonna take this one. You can also hold monsters. Question? Yeah, actually the problem with Hold Monster is that it's a very specific thing. Paralyze a creature. Okay. I mean, it says a creature. It could be any creature because it's a monster. The other one is Hold Person, which is a humanoid. But when it comes to those mechanical devices, are those considered to be monsters? Do they work for that? Attacks against the entity are always critical if the attacker is within 3 meters. So you have to use range attacks within 3 meters to work. But I don't know if you can use ranged attacks or ranged spells within 3 meters. Would be nice though, and it's of course concentration. It only works against 1 creature right now, it seems. So, what else we got? That's the 4th thing. There aren't that many 4 spells here. Oh, look at this. The Cone of Cold is actually much nicer, but this one has a higher range. Make a flurry of frost, crisp air, and condensed snow crystals erupt from your hands. Half damage, half damage. We're gonna go for fire stuff. Okay, that's a simple solution. That was this stuff, and everything down below is already known. Ancient Classical Wisp of the Grave. You can cast Speak with Dead without expending a spell slot. I already know this spell, I already use this spell. There's no reason for him to learn that too. I mean, him being able to speak with animals was more like a way around as long as I was not able to use the spell, but now I can. Actually, what he could use is like... Yeah, he should have gotten Fiendish Vigor instead of Beast Speech. That is more combat related. This selection here is more like a main character thing. Because main characters need to be proficient in charisma, mostly. Like persuasion, whatnot, and need to be able to speak with animals. Because there's so much stuff you can do in this game. If you speak with animals or speak with the dead. Now, you can cast the Enhanced Leap spell without expending a spell slot. He doesn't need to do this, and Enhanced Leap is a ritual thing, so there's no reason for him to get that spell. You can cast Conjure Elemental with a Warlock spell slot. Now this is something more interesting. Question, how long does it persist? But the barrier between planes until they disgorge an elemental ally to follow and fight for you. Sounds like fun. It's better for action economy maybe, so let's use this one. And the level 10, the last one. Okay. Fiendish Resilience. Choose a damage type and become resistant to it. You can pick a new damage type by each short rest. Oh, this is cool. Nice. You can only have 1 type of resistance at a time. Thing is, you can choose it every short rest, but does it persist? Or does it get reset? Reset every time. And of course, we can get another cantrip for no reason whatsoever. Did it always deal that much damage? I think the damage increased because our levels increased. That's an awful lot of damage. But the thing is, enemies are usually poison resistant or necrotic resistant. This is... I need some kind of damage that they are not resistant to. Get advantage on your next attack roll. Yeah, this is concentration. That makes no sense. I mean, this would only be really cool if it's not just for 2 turns, but constantly, as long as you can uphold the concentration. No. You can remain hidden while casting the spell. The spell can be cast while you are silenced. Sure. Okay. An undead target receives disadvantage. How often do we fight undead targets? Not that many times. So the only thing really good in terms of combat would be the poison spray cantrip. Just in case. So, what else we got? I'm gonna take the hold person just as a security measure. The other way would be to just use Witch Bolt constantly, but yeah, I think that's it. Okay. Very simple selection. Okay, now, time to sort through our abilities a little bit. Fiendish Resistance is something very specific. This is a cantrip. Cantrips go over here. Spell. Level 5 spell. Level 5 spell. A cantrip. Level... Everything is level 5 spell, but this is level 3 at least, so... We only have... Oh boy. Oh, this is not good. We can only use 2 spells. Wow. Okay, now I understand it. Okay, so you use your most powerful spells for the Warlock spell slots, and then you follow up with cantrips. This is how you play with the Warlock. You play your most powerful spells first. You can't even cast that many times, right? But that's what you do. So you... It's not even questioning why. What on earth? Because it's automatically upcast to the highest amount constantly. So this is not upcast because we learned it at level 5. This is upcast a little bit, 48, but this is upcast even more. But the thing is, this one does more damage. It's a lower spell with higher damage. It's kind of ridiculous. Interestingly enough, this is a dex save, and dex save. What do we save against? Spell difficulty class for Wyll 13. Okay. Why does it say 13? I mean, they start with 10, followed by your spell level. What is this one? Also 13. Why is it spell difficulty class for Wyll 13? Why is his spell difficulty class... Okay, base DC difficulty class 8. Plus 1 from dexterity. Plus 4... What? Do we need to use dex... Okay, wait a minute. What? Okay, I don't quite understand it. Why do the target needs to roll against the caster's spell difficulty class? But why is our spell difficulty class so low? Why is it only 8? Spell difficulty class. Base DC is 8. Why is the base DC 8? We don't use strength. The base thing should be much higher. We used charisma for casting, so that kind of makes no sense. Oh, I want to know where the base is coming from. It's always a dex save, a dex save, a dex... Everything here is a dexterity save. Do we have no... Wisdom save, there you go. Base DC 8. Full proficiency. Okay, so proficiency makes sense. The only thing that kind of works. We could get it to like +5 with a bonus of charisma, but that comes up later. Weird. Okay, so this is enchantment stuff. This is Scorching Ray does even... this does even more damage than the rest. Okay, let's just sort this out a little bit. The fire and spellcasting slots are all the way on the top. When it comes to summoning, this is a until long rest kind of thing, so that thing is special, similar to the Fiendish Resilience. Let's just move this a little closer together. This is cantrips, and this is another spell. This is a short rest, but it's a cantrip, so that one goes up here. And this is a saving spell. This is a summon. This is a summon. And this is a slow Constitution save for some reason. Okay. 2 from Constitution and 4 from what? Why is the spell difficulty a little bit higher than the others? +2 from Constitution. There's no bonus for Wisdom, and 2 from Constitution. Wisdom is 10, meaning no bonus. Makes sense. 2 from Constitution because it's 14. Dexterity is a bonus of 1. Okay, 1 from Dexterity makes sense. The only thing that I don't quite get is why is it a base 8? Like the difficulty class for all of those spells is very close together, right? I mean, it makes sense if it's the enemy that has to roll against that. I mean, our whole power stuff is charisma. Why do we use dexterity for that? That makes absolutely no sense. No sense whatsoever. Dexterity, dexterity, dexterity. Charisma save, there you go. So the Scorching Ray is the only thing that has a very high difficulty class, where the enemy has to play around that somehow. Every other spell is not a charisma save. Dex, dex, dex. This is the safest spell to cast for the Warlock. It's kind of stupid if you think about it. You have so many nice spells and the good stuff just doesn't want to work. Why not? Yeah, spell safety. Certain spells require enemies to make a saving throw. The higher your spell difficulty class, the harder it is to resist your spells. Makes sense. I would have thought that this difficulty stuff is used for all of those abilities here. So that the enemy has to use their dex roll against our charisma stat. Our charisma makes the spell better, but their dexterity makes them be able to evade or whatnot. That would make more sense. Weird. I don't know how this difficulty class comes into play. And this is a normal attack roll. It's easy. It determines whether an attack hits a target. +8 from Wyll. Range attacks also... Okay, wait. I do need something that increases his attack rolls on casts somewhat. Meaning that he needs equipment. Oh boy. He's going to get the equipment a little bit lighter. Probably going to give him that in the next episode. Took a very long time leveling this dude up. Okay, so... There's like Hadar stuff. Different kind of damage, 25 bonus health, that's ridiculous. How am I gonna sort this though? Wisdom. I mean, I could sort this via spell save, so that dexterity Actually, I want to sort it by like damage type somewhat. So this is fire. This is summons. Here, summon related, and this is other damage forms and things. Yeah, let's just make it like that. That makes more sense. Okay, and then we have Firebolt over here. Fire is on the top row, but this is a you only take half damage kind of thing. Eldritch goes into the middle. There are the hands. Blade Ward. Good question. Where do we place the damage? Let's place the damage in one line over here. The other one would be to make it a line on the top. That's actually a good question. How do I sort that?
Despite everything.
Soldier.
I don't use rows, I use columns for my sorting. See? This thing is trip attack and this thing is trip attack, meaning it's a column. Going from top to bottom. Top to bottom is similar. And from left to right is somewhat different. This is a disarming strike, this is a trip attack. Okay, this one is a row as well. Misty Step and Githyanki Jump, but still. It goes both. It goes all the ways, actually.
Never a dull moment. Sharp as ever.
It's extremely complicated to sort all of the abilities. Let's see. I mean, when it comes to long spells that I rarely use, I don't need to place them in here, though. But I could still keep... Wait a minute. I don't want to accidentally use damage stuff. This is a short rest singular kind of thing. That's defensive. I mean, that could work. What on earth is this? I thought it was only elemental. Okay, so we got acid, fire, necrotic, psychic even. And thunder damage. Then we got bludgeoning. It's not even sorted correctly. Come on. Piercing and slashing. And there's also force. Radiant damage even. Cold, lightning, poison. Wow. Okay, so before I'm going to do this, selecting the right resistance, I'm going to look at the enemy and guess what their damage type might be. That would make the most sense. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. If I move all three up here, get the blade ward down there, it would make sense, but there's an awful lot of empty space down here. Then. But this spell, I don't want to keep where the action is. This is all supposed to be all the way to the right, where I'm never gonna look, usually. Conjure elemental. What kind of elemental can we get? Air elemental. Oh, there's also bonus abilities that you have to figure out. Yep, there is definitely a thing. But we're gonna do this in the next episode, as I said. And we're also gonna give him nice items in the next episode. Awful lot of things we have to do in the next episode. So until next time, then like, subscribe. Long level up though, but necessary. Ta-ta.